Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I am reading with the Dark Mansion Tarot. This is a deck by Taroteca Studios. All right. Now I am joined by my girl Merlina. She's sawing logs right next to us. And yeah, it's always nice having her here when I'm reading. I think that she lends a really calming energy when she's sleeping, not when she's awake. She's a handful when she's awake. Okay, so my intention with this week's reading is to really get a nice overview of the upcoming energies this week and some ideas and inspiration about how we can really tap into those energies as we move through the week. All right, so let's begin with the first card. This is for Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week, and we have the Six of Cups. Let's see if I can just zoom in a little here. All right, so Six of Cups for the beginning of the week, and Six of Cups can be about kind of going down memory lane and looking through old photo albums at old pictures, maybe looking at old yearbooks, things like that, reminiscing, reconnecting with friends that you haven't heard from in a while, reminiscing about childhood stories or things from your youth, stuff like that. So this is like a nostalgia card in a lot of ways, but it's also, there's a real sweetness, a friendliness to this card. There's a certain kind of like helpfulness. I'll often call Six of Cups the friendship card. And there's only one person on this card and she's looking at photos, but it's like she's reminiscing about a friend that she had and maybe hasn't seen in a while, or even a friend that's passed. And so it's that kind of a card. It's that kind of energy. I'm trying to think what it means for us this week. You might find yourself like running into an old friend or thinking about the past, and not necessarily thinking about the past in like not in a negative way, but like, recalling good memories and stuff like that from the past. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about this card, so I'm going to leave it, and I think I'm going to come back to it because I feel like there's a message there, but I want to see what the other cards say too. Okay, so here we have the Three of Pentacles for the middle of the week, so Wednesday, Thursday-ish, midweek. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Now this is interesting because we actually had the Three of Pentacles last week as well, but it was for the beginning of the week. So with Three of Pentacles, you can see here, they're drawing up plans for something. And it's like one guy's drawing them up, the other guy's, he's kind of showing them or consulting with them. I'm not sure. But I feel like this is about making a planning for something, maybe like the beginning phases of a project. I know I said that same thing last week as well. And again, this is about collaboration. So middle of the week, if you have plans for something, midweek might be a nice time to run those plans by someone, to have another set of eyes look at them. Maybe someone who can give you some advice or some input, something like that. Collaborating with others, that's going to be an important theme this week. That's going to be something to focus on, collaboration, not just trying to do things all by yourself. Sometimes other people see things differently. And so if you're trying to figure something out and maybe you're a little bit stuck, it's nice to get someone else with a fresh set of eyes to come and look and give you their take and their opinion. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's look at the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we have the Emperor. So this is a major arcana card, and this particular Emperor, he looks kind of stuffy. He doesn't look like he would be much fun, but I think that On the surface, the Emperor looks like an old man who's uptight and doesn't have a sense of humor and is very rigid and set in his ways. Like the kind of guy who, eats the same cereal for breakfast every single day and has for the last 50 years and has like a set routine and a set habit and will never change it. Like that's kind of the vibe he gives. But the Emperor, underneath that crusty exterior, the Emperor is a total rebel. He has his own idea about what he wants to achieve over his lifetime and what is important to him. And it might not really make any sense to anyone else. Like they might look at him and say, oh, he's crazy. Like, why is he prioritizing that? Why is he getting his butt in a knot over that? But the Emperor, it all makes sense to the Emperor. The Emperor has a different view of things and he is fiercely independent and he will carve out his own path like his life depends on it. Death to him would be falling into somebody else's life plan and just living a life that's been cut out for him by society or family. And that is not his idea of living. That would be akin to death to the Emperor. So the Emperor wants to forge his own path. He wants to do his own thing. And I feel like the message to you is that you're ready to really step into more independence in your life, being more independent, getting in touch with your rebel spirit, and forging your own path. Because sometimes what you want to do with your life and what people tell you you're supposed to do, sometimes those two things don't always overlap perfectly. So the Emperor is kind of egging you on to be a rebel this week, be a rebel this weekend. All right, let's look at all of the cards. So we have 6 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, the Emperor. These are all very different cards with very different energies. The Emperor has a certain determination. It feels like a real soul path. Like the weekend, this is a good time to like get in touch with your soul and your soul's desires and what you want to do with your life. Like it's like this really kind of dramatic card in a lot of ways. If that doesn't really resonate for you and you're like, I don't know how that really applies to me, the Emperor is also, he's very, very assertive and like he stands his ground. You can't push him around or tell him what to do. He's quite stubborn. And this card might be saying like, this is the energy you need to embody on the weekend. This is who you need to become this weekend. Yeah. So, okay. So let's look at the other cards here. Beginning of the week, this is, you know what, it feels like beginning of the week is a time to, it might be a good time to take a trip down memory lane and have those, do some nostalgic daydreaming or whatever. But I feel like this is about prioritizing beauty as well. Because like, look at all these beautiful flowers that are surrounding her. So prioritizing beauty. And I'm going to just go off on a limb and say something a little bit out there because this isn't the traditional meaning of this card. But as I look at this card and I see all the fresh cut flowers, I see the pictures everywhere, I see the beautiful surroundings, I feel like this is about making your space more beautiful this week. Whether it's your workspace or your living space or your bedroom or wherever you spend a lot of time, beautifying your space. And you may even put, and really like putting things in that space that represent who you are. And maybe even things that represent your past, like the things that make you smile, make you happy. It could be old photos of friends or family, or little relics from the past, little symbols and things, but really beautifying your space and making it your own so that when you look around, everything is kind of a symbol of who you are and what's important to you. Why is that the message I'm getting? I don't know. But yeah, interior decorating. That's what I'm getting with the 6 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles is about perhaps getting some outside advice or observations, not even advice, but like getting someone else's opinion on something that you're working on. Like if you're writing, maybe getting someone to read your work. If you're working on a painting, getting someone else to look at it to tell you what they think or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I get with that one. And then, of course, the Emperor. I have nothing else to say about the Emperor. It's just that I feel like this is about really standing your ground and getting in touch with your inner rebel. Okay. Oh yeah, and I see there's a ram behind him, which again is like a symbol of kind of being stubborn, being determined. There's determination with the Emperor. He's very determined to see his plan through. That's also an interesting aspect of this card. It's like determination. And so it's such a shift from, the beginning of the week and the middle of the week. I feel like this week we're just kind of dicking around here. We're decorating our space. We're going down memory lane. We're reaching out to old friends. Here you're working on a project. You're asking for someone else's input perhaps. And then you get to the weekend and it's just like boom, like you're just like focused on whatever it is you're doing. You're focused on seeing your plan through to the end. You will not be swayed by anyone. So really interesting combination of cards. My girl Marlena, she's rolling around at her bed here. She's like, yep, that's an interesting spread of cards. Okay. So that is your weekly reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed. Give me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what card you were drawn to or what card you're excited to see. If you're excited to see any of these cards. I'm actually excited to see the Emperor. I like seeing this card here on the weekend. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reading and I hope you have a wonderful week.